Today, I'm gonna show you how to make, wait, what are we making? Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna show you how to make focaccia. This is so easy. Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Natasha of natashaskitchen.com, and I'm gonna show you how to make a classic Italian focaccia. The texture of this is incredible. So crisp on the outside, super soft inside, and you don't have to wait overnight. This is quick to make, very little active time, and wait until you see our favorite bread dip. You're gonna love it. And I want some bread, so let's get started. We'll start with 1.5 cups of warm water, and I like to have that between 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll leave a link to the thermometer I use in the notes. Stir in 1 teaspoon of honey until it's dissolved, then add in 1 packet or 7 grams of instant yeast. Once the yeast is stirred in, let that sit and rest for about 5 to 7 minutes or until you see a foamy layer on the surface. This indicates that the yeast is good and it'll help jumpstart our recipe. We're using our favorite digital kitchen scale, and I will leave a link to this in the notes. Zero out your mixing bowl, and we're gonna get exactly 3 3/4 cups or about 470 grams of all-purpose flour. If you don't have a kitchen scale, make sure you measure correctly. Spoon the flour into a dry ingredient measuring cup, then scrape off the top. Now whisk in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Pour your yeast mixture into the center of the flour. Use a mixing spoon to stir that together until the liquid is incorporated into the flour and you don't see any more dry flour. You should end up with a sticky mass of dough. Next, add 1 tablespoon of good extra virgin olive oil and use your hands to mix it in. Work the oil into the dough until it's fully absorbed. Now cover the top with plastic wrap and let it rest for 30 minutes at room temperature until it's visibly puffed. If you're working in a colder environment or want to speed up the process, try our microwave trick. Add a damp towel to the microwave for about a minute to heat it up, then turn it off and place the bowl inside, letting it rest. While the dough is proofing, I like to make the topping ahead of time so the oil infuses with rosemary and garlic flavor. In a small mixing bowl, combine 2 tablespoons of water with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, half a teaspoon of salt, and we'll need about 1.5 teaspoons of finely chopped rosemary from 2 rosemary sprigs. Simply pull the leaves off of the sprigs and finely chop them up. Also, finely mince and add 2 large garlic cloves. Now thoroughly mix that topping together until it's well incorporated. This topping makes the bread into a garlic rosemary focaccia and it tastes amazing. But if you want to, you can also just use olive oil, water, and salt for a simple topping. You can see the dough is visibly puffed and about double in size. To keep your hands from sticking to the dough, dip them in a bowl of cold water. Now to get that irresistible focaccia texture, we need to develop the gluten strands in the dough. Gently pull the dough up on one side without tearing it, then fold it over onto itself. Rotate the bowl and repeat the process until you've done 4 stretch and folds. Pull up gently, making sure not to tear the gluten strands. Now cover the bowl and let it rest and puff for another 30 minutes. Repeat the stretch and fold process 3 more times, making sure to cover and let the dough rest for 30 minutes between each time. We're gonna do the 3rd set of 4 stretch and folds, letting it rest for 30 minutes afterwards. After the 4th set of stretching and folding, we're gonna transfer the dough right away to a well-oiled baking pan. I love using a 9x13 pan for focaccia because you can make it thicker, which works great for sandwiches. Add 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil to the bottom of a 9x13 pan. Now transfer the dough over the oil and turn it to coat the dough in oil. Gently stretch the dough to fit the pan. If you find it's difficult to stretch the dough and it doesn't want to budge, just cover it and let it rest for 15 minutes, then work the dough to the edges of the pan. Once the dough is relaxed, it's much easier to stretch. Just be sure to gently stretch the dough without tearing it. Once you finish stretching your dough and it's about the size of your baking pan, cover and let that proof for about 45 to 60 minutes or until it's visibly risen and puffy. Now to create those classic focaccia dimples, dip your hands into cold water, then press them directly into the dough. Press them in quickly and firmly without breaking all the way through the dough. It'll look a little bit like playing the piano. I like to go over the dough 2 or 3 times to create plenty of dimples. Quickly whisk your garlic rosemary topping in case it's separated, then evenly drizzle it over the top of your focaccia. Now, last but not least, sprinkle about a teaspoon of kosher salt over the top of your focaccia. Now bake in the center of a preheated oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 22 to 25 minutes or until the top is golden brown. I love to bake for 25 minutes, giving it a chance to form a great crisp edge. Once it's out of the oven, transfer it right away to a wire rack. You want to get it out of the pan so that the bottom doesn't get steamy. Otherwise, you'll lose that crispy crust. Now let it cool for at least 5 minutes before slicing into it. All right, our bread is just a little bit warm still, and that's okay because I am getting rather impatient. I want some of this. My kitchen smells so good right now. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's do this taste test. I wanna show you what's inside. Check this out. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Getting close. Yes. It is so tall and fluffy. Make this and it'll become your new favorite bread. And thankfully it's easy. I mean, you can get started on a dinner party and start your bread and have it ready by dinner time. You don't have to wait overnight. That's the best part, seriously. Okay, and then, so everything about this is good. From the top to bottom, look at this crisp crust. Listen to the crunch. I'm excited. Okay, for obvious reasons, because I get to eat this. Okay, now you can serve this as like a dinner bread. I'm gonna show you that dip in a second here. I'm gonna cut some pieces, or you can use it as the best sandwich bread. And this bread will make a sandwich person out of you. It is marvelous, as my son would say. Still smells so good, so good. Okay, here we go. Just cut it into little squares here so we can get to this taste test faster. All right, now it's time to serve this and that dip that I was telling you about. I learned this in an Italian restaurant and it's so easy and so good. And it also looks really fancy, so if you're throwing a dinner party, try this, seriously. Okay, so all you need is some good extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna put this in a shallow dish, pour that into a little ramekin, followed by some balsamic vinegar and a crackle of fresh black pepper. All right, let's get this taste test rolling. And seriously, focaccia is not like any other bread. Everything from the texture to it smells so good. And then it has a ton of flavor. You can change this up and add so many different toppings. Check out my notes and my post to see more ideas, but this has to be my favorite. All right, we're going in for the sauce. I hope you try it with this sauce. It's so easy and super yummy. Okay, and because there's a lot of olive oil already in this bread, it's what makes the crust so crispy. It's just a perfect match to dip it in some more. Why not? Okay. Oh. This makes me so happy. Crispy crust, so soft. I mean, it's like melt in your mouth, cotton soft inside. And the top, you can really taste the rosemary and the garlic. I love that it's infused in the oil, so it just kind of penetrates the top of the bread. This is a must try. And my kids love this, so I'm gonna get my son in here for a taste test. David, come on over. Taste test. Pick a piece, any piece. He went for the big one. Take a bite. Ooh, you hear the crunch? How is it? Good? Yeah? Like favorite ever? All right, we're gonna enjoy our bread. I hope you guys make this recipe today and the sauce, and we'll see you in our next video. Hey. Oh, seriously? Honey, this is so good. Come and get some.
I know.
Back for more.
Back for more.
Hey, let me finish my bread.
More sauce?
You can bring it with you.